Right, good morning. Welcome to the learning session. I hope you're doing well. Okay, today is Tuesday and we are currently looking at the dollar index. So, I think the dollar index is kind of stuck in or it's created a consolidation in here with a small or a slight bearish tone to that. But long term, we are bullish and we want to stay like that. We are currently kind of retracing with this impulse leg here. So I'm looking for maybe a run to attack this low and this low here. That's currently the bias that I hold. So this low being the first objective, and then this imbalance in here. And you can see today we've had a close below yesterday's low, so I'm looking for continuation to the downside. All right. I also like the fact that we've taken out this low as well. Okay, that is a good sign of bearishness. On foreign currencies, that will mean on euro, price is gonna make a new high here. Okay. If you do fancy trading, then you can use this order block here. Okay, you can use that order block there to send price higher, to attack this high. Okay, that's maybe during the New York session because now it's 9:33, 9:35, and I don't see the point of chasing this right here. So wait for a pullback and then attack that. I think it might run up into that imbalance up there. Okay, so that's something to also consider. Price might run into that imbalance, but overall I'm still hunting for price to come down here. Okay, so even though we are temporarily going up, higher time frame draw on liquidity is down here, so don't get sucked into price going up. Okay, make sure that you have your bigger picture down here. Okay, so for maybe today, tomorrow, and Thursday, you are looking for price to go up, but I will anticipate a potential Thursday reversal, either Wednesday New York session or Thursday reversal, to come back down and attack this low and that one. Okay, so let's see where we will be by Thursday, but for now, drawn liquidity is here and up there. British pound, same thing. I was actually looking for a buy yesterday down here, but that wasn't the case. So the same narrative is on the British pound. We are looking for price to drive up. On this one, I think it's going to close in that imbalance. I need to watch this candles low. I think that would be a good level to target. Also, that imbalance there. So that's a good level to target. This candles low. Right, so there's room to the upside, and let me zoom in on that. If we do pull back, all right, that's a potential buy. Let's do this. All right, so if you had to pull back, that's where you're going, and depending on where we pull back from, this can be a partial profit level. That's if we come back down before getting up here. That can be a partial profit taking level. All right. New Zealand, same thing. I think the draw on liquidity is up here, and the 50% of this range, which I don't think we've reached that yet. Actually, we have reached 50%. So I'll look for that small fair value gap on the daily. It's a tiny little one here. So let's look at that. Okay, we do have a small fair value gap here, so that's a target for partial profit taken. And then yeah, I think this candle's high, so this and then that candle's high, it's a partial profit taking level. All right, so but you know, it's a little bit tricky because of how price traded Thursday and Friday. Because Thursday we had price run up, Friday price stayed inside, so we had like an inside candle here, an inside candle there, right? So it's a bit tricky trading these. So I personally don't have any position right now. I have a demo trade on Ethereum, which I'll show you later, but I don't have any position. I just don't trust what price is doing on the high time frame yet, so I don't have a position. But you know, if I was to trade, this is what I would do, and if they do come to these levels, I'll actually, you know, participate in a demo trade. But for, you know, live account trading, I'm actually hands off. I don't feel confident in this market condition, especially this week. This week is a kind of a week that anything can happen. Okay, anything can happen this week, hence I'm kind of hands off. So yeah, if we do retrace, that is a potential buy level to attack this and to trade here. I've gone through New Zealand, so that's the draw and then the high. You're looking for price to trade into that small little fair value gap. Okay, in case you're wondering, is this one here, that one there. Aussie, this is the only pair that I'm kind of, I would say bearish, but with this high, right, we might stay in a consolidation. I don't see them going for that. It can go and attack this, right? It can go and attack that, and if it does, I'll hunt for a sell to come down here. Now I think I've shared online my high time frame bias, which is this low here. So this week maybe it might run some form of liquidity in here, and then I will hunt for a rejection to go down. So overall I'm kind of bearish on this pair, even though I'm looking for price to push up on these three. That one I'm bearish, looking for lower prices because of the price action that you see, right? So it might go up one more time and run some level of stops, rejection, and I'll look for a run for this low. What is the longest time period you stay out of the market because your setup wasn't present since using? So For live trading, um, a week, um, a week, but demo trading, I trade demo trade. I take demo trades um, every single day, unless there's nothing. Like today, I've not taken any demo trade, right? Yesterday, I took one. So if there is a trade present in the chart and I'm not confident because of the market condition, like right now, okay, right now, the present market condition doesn't suit me in terms of long-term trading. I trade the weekly expansion range or the weekly ranges, right? That's predominantly what I trade. So if I cannot detect how the weekly is going to unfold, especially this week, last week was 50-50. I got away with some good trades, but this week, to be specific, it just doesn't make sense to me taking a live trade. So far, I'm sitting on my hands until I see what I need to see. Okay, so it can go up to a week without taking a trade, but not more than a week, unless I'm on break or I go on holidays. Then that's quite different. But if the market is open and I'm here, a week, yeah, and then between a week and 3 days, okay, because most of the time I'm waiting for market to give me the right condition to enter my trade. But when it comes to demo trade, I use that demo trade as practice. Okay, so I use the demo trade as practice. So if I do see something that I'm familiar with, because I know a lot of stuff, so if I see something that I'm familiar with, I want to practice it to see what it does. Okay, I'll show you an example. I was sitting here and I was looking at this chart, right? And price moved away from this down candle. So I was like, okay, if we do retrace back to this order block, I'm gonna buy. But then I went on to the 5 minutes chart, and then I saw inside the 5 minutes chart that there was a market maker buy model unfolding on the 5 minutes chart. So immediately I recognized that price was not gonna come back down. Okay, price was not gonna come back down. Hence, I should just practice buying every retracement to a down candle. So this was when it did give a retracement to a down candle. So I did not buy it with a demo account. I just practiced looking at it and price unfolding that. And then here, I was looking, okay, maybe price was gonna come back down here, but then again, according to the market maker buy and sell model rules, okay, if we print 3 areas of accumulation, which is 1, 2, 3. Once we print 3 areas of accumulation at this candle, it shouldn't come back down as a pullback. It should run quickly to where price is going, right, which is that green shaded area. Missed it by a bit, but that's where I was anticipating price going. So with that, right, if I see it, I will take a demo trade, but it's not going to be a live trade. Why? Because that's not my setup, but I understand what price is doing. Okay, so in conditions that I'm not comfortable trading, I will trade demo trades, but those demo trades are going to be things that I understand, not things that I trade. I hope that makes sense. Okay, So back to this one. Um, like I said, this one I'm bearish, hence it's kind of staying sideways. Now, with this condition right here, right, it gives you an opportunity to look at the crosses. Right, what crosses do you need to look at? Notice that all the pairs like this one, right, we have price closing bullish, price closing bullish, price closing bullish, right? We don't have any bearish candle, and here we do have a bearish candle. So that gives you the opportunity to go in and hunt for Aussie pairs for bearish price action. Okay, so if you go here, you can look at pound Aussie for a buy. Oops. Right, you can look at pound Aussie for a buy. You can look at euro Aussie for a buy. Alright, and you can also look at since Monday. Okay, you can also look at New Zealand, Aussie New Zealand, which is what I'm actually looking for this week to sell short. It hasn't given me my entry yet, but I'm looking to sell short on this one, and that will also give you Aussie CAD to sell short. Okay, that can also give you Aussie Swiss to sell short, kind of consolidating. So by looking at price action, okay, it gives you an idea of what price should do. So instead of actually trading this for the longs that these ones are providing, you go to the crosses and then you look for a sell because of how price has been presented over here. Alright, so this week I'm hunting for a one short, one kill sell to attack this low on this pair. It might give it, it might not give it. If it does, great. If it doesn't, no problem. Where will I be hunting for it? I want to see price trade into optimal trade entry. So I want to see price trade up in here, right? That's where I'll be hunting for my sells to come back down to attack this low and that low. So until we get up there, I'm hands off. Let me go through this and then I'll answer your question for you. Okay, so on dollar CAD, we've actually made a new low below this candle. So I think now, I could be wrong. We are trading inside this down candle. Let's see how today is gonna close for long time. Okay, and let's see how today is gonna close on this. How we close will give me an idea what price is supposed to do going forward. Right now, I can't tell what it's trying to do. I have an idea, which is if this candle closes, which it looks like it, 8 minutes. If it does close, we might see price go for this low, but I don't want to speculate that, right? I want this candle to close and the daily to close to give me a firm confirmation that price is, yes, likely to go for these lows. If not, then I am going to wait. Okay, there's no point me trying to chase it, because once we change direction like this, it's always followed by some form of a pullback, and I don't want to chase price down here. Okay, so I'll wait for candle to close and then I'll look at this last up candle. All right, So sit on your hands and wait. Let's see what price is gonna give us. Now if we do close like this, which to me is a little bit weird, I don't see, well, it can do it because we have this down candle, but I'm looking at this as consolidation, right, and this as a potential reaccumulation to send price. Let's go to the weekly time frame, monthly time frame. We've gone into that. Let me see. It just went, the high was taken like by a hair and it rejected. So I'm thinking it might go back up again. So I don't want to be sold to the narrative of going down yet. Maybe they might run it one more time aggressively, giving you 1, 2, and 3 Indian pattern, right, before maybe rejecting. So let's see how today is gonna close. That's all I can say. If today closes like this, I'll still wait. I don't like calling this as a high to send price lower. I don't see that. I don't see that personally. But what I can do, because it's bullish, if once we close, if price closes above if this candle close, it's going to close, not if. Once this candle closes, the next candle, if we close above this, I'll buy it with a stop, and then anyone that is trying to call this as a high, that's what I'm gonna target. Okay, so I'll be waiting for something like this, and then I buy that to go and attack this high again, because I don't see this as a top. Okay, obviously I could be wrong and that can be a top, but I'll rather go with the trend that we have right now than trying to pick this as a high. This is where I'll be totally wrong. Once this low gives up, then yes, I'm totally wrong, and then price might trade back down. But as long as this low is intact, I am looking for one more run above this, not to go to the moon, but one more run above that high. Because if you look at it, it's like it went there and rejected, right? So there might be still liquidity above this high. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm sorry for that. I have to go and check up on my wife. Okay, let's continue. Euro pound. I was practicing on this earlier. I saw a potential buy. missed it. So I was looking to buy here, but of course I've missed it. And targeting yesterday's high. Okay, but it's gone, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Again, this is what I do, right? I'm not looking to take it as a live trade, but because I'm practicing, I'll just do something like this. Okay, and then if it does it, sweet. If it doesn't, no problem. It's just a practice. Over time, what I'm building is I'm building a library of price action understanding. All right, I'm building a library of price action understanding, and then I can give you why. Okay, the logic is in my head. I'm not telling you why I took it, but over time, once I get a lot of experience with these practices, I can give you reasons why price did what it did. Okay, so I think right now I'm practicing price moving from here to go and attack this equal high. So let's see if that will be the case. On the high time frame, it's not doing anything, so I'm not forecasting anything for long term. I'm overall looking for price to trade up here. Okay, I'm looking for price to trade into that imbalance. So I'm waiting for this high to give up, because that's the last impulse leg to the downside. Okay, and I'm keying off from the fact that we went through this imbalance, so we might accumulate in there and then send price higher. All right, so that's what I'm doing with these euro pound. Gold. Gold is also a pair that I'm currently looking for a run up here and then a move back down. Now, usually gold forms a low in July and then it goes up until October, right? So it looks to me that it's accumulating here, so price might drop down to form the low of this here, and then price goes up. So we have price run this high and then broke down and it's pulling back. With that pullback, we've had price trade into premium, right? Optimal trade entry. But for price to go lower, it needs to change direction, right? And we've not changed direction yet. We need to take out this low before price will be considered, or price will align with the high time frame direction. Because of this, we are still stuck. So unless we take out this low, then we start aiming for this and that, right? Until then, we remain with the order flow that we have on the H4. So the order flow on the H4 currently is this. So we could make one more high here into that small little imbalance, or probably even up there to close in all this and then a move lower. So the weekly profile for this week is I'm anticipating a high. I'm anticipating a high to form, break down, and then I will look for a sell to continue going down. Okay, that's the weekly profile that I'm actually looking for. Okay, so let's see if that will be the case. All right. Now, for scalping, because this higher time frame is not doing anything, you can scalp if you want to, using this auto block here as your higher time frame key level. And yeah, right now, like literally right now, we hit the high time frame level. We have a change in market structure shift. So on the 5-minute chart, you look for optimal trade entry. Okay, and then you hunt for buy, and you can also, by using that as the framework, you can also drop down to the 1-minute time frame. So your framework would be, we've hit this H4 auto block, we've shown willingness to move, we've pulled back, right? You can drop down to the 1-minute chart and look for the same thing for your entry. So this is going to be your optimal trade entry, and instead of taking a buy, taking a buy here with a stop here, you can actually use the same fractal, right, to trade here. So this is your last impulse leg, right? You wanna wait for this high to be taken, but if you wait for that, probably price, you're not gonna get good risk to reward. So ideally, I would want this low to be taken and then breaking structure to go higher, or you're just gonna take it based on the 5-minute chart. So you just take it here, leave your stop there, oops, and then target this high. Alright, but I would love to see this low taken. Yeah, I would love to see that low taken. And then I'll buy that, so I can use this as my risk to go and target this high. All right, that would be the ideal scenario, because I don't want to use this big stop, and since we are in discount, if we break market structure, then I'll hunt for that. Okay, using this H4, okay, and it's scalping. It's not long-term trading, it's just scalping. Okay, oil. Last week was amazing. I can I made a 10-1 on oil. Patience actually pays off. Last week, I'm not sure if on Thursday, let me see if it happened on a Thursday. No, it actually happened on a Friday. Yep. Thursday we had a session, and I said I wanted to see price go to 111, right? We almost got there. For those of you that were here, it's on YouTube, you can go and watch it. I told you where price was going, right? I was looking for price to drop down here, and price was dropping at the time, and I said I wanted to see 111 as the next downside objective. We almost got there, and then price shot back up again, and I actually gave you the time of the day to trade oil, to look for that continuation between 2 p.m. and 6. between 2 and 8. So that 2 p.m., let me zoom in so you can see it. And that 2 p.m. here, right, price, instead of going down, it went up. Okay, so it actually came back to my break even because I went short inside this last down candle. Alright, so it came back to stop me out at break even. So next day, price went up, and during the New York session, using the same thing that I was talking about on this pair, right, on the 5 minutes chart. Okay, the same understanding that I had here, that price was going to run up there, that same understanding was here on the 5 minutes chart. So this is why I practice, right? Because if you practice and you see it, you're gonna get confidence in trading. So on the 5 minutes chart, you can see that we had a potential market maker sell model in here. So I missed this sell, so I went in on that one and I left my stop here. And then remember, I said we are bearish. So when price got to this low, I did not take my TP. Why? Because of the high time frame. So I started taking note of the up candles, because when we are bearish, price should respect the up candles, right? So I started noting the up candles, that anytime we create an up candle and price trades above it, then I'll close the trade. And I just continue to milk this trade until down here. So my actual exit at this point here, right, it wasn't going to come up to stop me out. So this is where I got out. It was a 10. My stop was above this, so I got a 10 to 1. Let me go see where my TP was. It was a weekly low. Okay. Actually, this one is just annoying. Let's go here. You see that weekly low here. Right there. That week. Right, the low. That's exactly where I got out. So let's go back to this. Go to the 5 minutes chart. Right, so that was the trade. My stop, let's be honest, was above this high, and my exit was right here. Okay, that's the trade that I got. Why? Because of the narrative that I gave based on the higher time frame. Okay, so this is how I love to trade. Now if you look on the, let's go over here. If you look here, this is market going up to go down for the week. So this is how my trading is. I'm looking at where the week is looking to expand, right, and then I trade in that direction, because if the week is going to expand up or down, that's where most of the move is going to unfold. Okay, so the whole idea is to try to anticipate where the high is going to form, and then once the high forms, you're gonna look to continue in that direction. So on Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, when price took out this high and then broke down, okay, immediately I said price was gonna trade here, here, and there. Okay, so I got a trade on one here, and then I got one down there, and that one was break even, and then one here. Okay, all in the direction of the weekly expansion. Okay, so this week, because the draw is still down here, I'm hunting for that same thing. So what I'm looking for is price to give me the high, right? So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for price to give me the high of the week, which I'm anticipating it somewhere here. So if we trade up there between today, tomorrow, by Thursday, and then I see confirmation, then I start hunting for sales to come and attack this low, and then maybe this one, but most importantly this one. Okay, so my bias on this one is looking for price to do what? Price to give me a high to go down. So the high forming, and then I'll anticipate a rejection to go down. All right, Bitcoin, my members, we've been looking for price to trade up here, and I gave them a buy on this order block. Now it was both the both Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I decided to practice on the Ethereum, not the Bitcoin. And the logic behind why I took it on Ethereum and not Bitcoin is on the daily time frame. The daily time frame on this, we did not make a close above this down candle, even though on the lower time frame there was logic for me to use it on this. Okay, I did not do it. I traded it on that one. So I took the entry on this here with a stop, I think below there, and then looking for price for this equal high with partial above this high. So as I'm doing this live session, I'm supposed to be taking partial, and this is the trade. Okay, so I took that retracement to this order block to go up here with the partial above that high. And like I said, both of them were going to do the same thing, but I decided to go with this because this one gave me a nice swing low confirmation. All right, so that's what we are looking for. And I think those of you that join me for the live sessions, you will remember I said something about this. Whenever you see the red candle, if you don't have it, all you have to know is wherever you see price closing below a previous candle and then immediately closes above the candle that closed below, on my platform is going to be a red, because once we close below it gives me a red, and then if it close above it gives me a green. Once that condition is present, I'm bullish. All right, so that's why I took the trade on this and not on the Bitcoin. I could have taken it because, like I said, there are some logics in here that I apply, and you can see it right here. We went above that imbalance, so that was a logical, potential entry inside that. But I preferred safety, so I used this one. All right, So we are looking for potential run above this equal high, potential run above the high, with first objective inside this imbalance here. Okay, so Bitcoin, we are looking for 22k inside that, and then Ethereum, we are looking for this, and then this equal high. All right. And I've taken my time to go through these ones, so I'm gonna answer your question now. Using the GBP USD, I'm gonna try to, if you're on YouTube, send me the question on YouTube, because mostly I think yesterday I mentioned that one of my computers gave up, so I'm only using one at the moment, and I cannot see all the questions. So I'm looking at YouTube on one. I'm looking to make sure that the streaming is doing well. So I'm monitoring two things on one screen, and then I have the chat on another screen. Usually I'll do the same thing, and then I have answers on the other computer, but I don't have the luxury of that. So to answer your question, on the H4, we close below the H4OB. You need to specify what that is, because I'm not sure what you're talking about, and I've gone through quite a lot, so I can't remember which one I was going through that made you send that question. All right, so if you can clarify it, then I can answer it for you. Let me read this one. Using the GBP USD, I am also looking at it. I want to hold for a couple of weeks in order for price to get to the low on the monthly, weekly chart. How would you advise I go about it, adding size as it goes? Okay, let's go back to GBP. Okay, so if I understand you right, you are looking for price to go for a monthly low. Which low are you looking for? Which low are you looking for? Is it the current month low, this low? Which one? All right, let me understand which low you're talking about. Okay. The weekly expansion is your bias for buy or sell on high time frame. Yes, the weekly expansion is my bias for the week, or that's my framework, right? That's how I trade. So I do my analysis, and then I find out where the weekly is likely to expand to, and then I trade in that direction. All right, so to give you an example, this week I was expecting this pair to expand to the upside based on my analysis. So because of that, I'm looking for buys. Okay, so I just need to understand where the weekly needs to expand to. Once I understand and I have enough evidence to prove or to show me that price is going to expand to up or down, then I start looking for trade ideas in that direction. Like this morning, like I said, I saw this late, and then I went in practicing. All right, but because my bias is to expand to the upside, I'm so bullish. So if we do retrace down here, I'm gonna take a trade to attack this high. So there's a gap here. We might get a retracement. With that retracement, I'm gonna buy. If I lose this low, right, let's say price comes down here and it does not respect this and then it breaks that low, does that mean I'm wrong? No, I'm just gonna wait because the week is still fresh. It's just Tuesday. I'm gonna wait and see on Thursday, because if we're gonna go up and price manipulates to the downside, we could form a Thursday reversal like this. Okay, so notice that price goes up and then comes back down and then reverses on Thursday. All right, so if I buy here and it stops me out, I'll sit on my hands and wait till Thursday, and then maybe Thursday New York session we might get a reversal to continue to expand to the upside. All right, any more questions? Let's look at the indices. All right, indices, I think we might see price trade up here. We might see price trade up there to form the high of the week. I'm bearish. I'm looking for price to trade to 3609, but I'm waiting for again the high to form. So we open Monday and then price is going up. So I'm waiting for the high of the week to form, and then I'll sell it short to 3609. So that's what I'm looking for. Let me check on the 5 minutes chart. Yesterday I do have a pattern that I trade. Did it form? No, it didn't. Nope. Maybe today. I'll see if it'll form today. Any more questions? So indices, you are looking for price to trade into premiums. Let me put it that way. This high to that low. We've just hit 50%, right? We're looking for price to trade into premium. Now, overall is bearish. It's just pulling back. So you can either kind of scalp to the upside. It's not advisable, but you can scalp the bias to the upside and then hunt for the real trade to the downside. Nasdaq, yeah, the same thing. Nasdaq has, I think Nasdaq is looking nice as well. This equal low. Yeah, so somewhere in here. Alright, somewhere in there, I'll anticipate high forming, and then I'll hunt for a move back down again to attack that. I think this one looks better between this and that. I like the Nasdaq, and obviously the beast. here. I'll look for the high of the week. You can't go as far as that, but all you have to do is just wait, and price will show you its hands. Okay. Anything else, guys? Market is just too quiet. So be careful. Do not force anything, especially being in the month of June. The third week and the fourth week of June simply is just, in my experience, it's always been, if you are the type that trades specific pairs, you're gonna struggle in the month of June. If you trade like, okay, I'm the one that I'm gonna trade 2 pairs, right? When we hit the month of June, you're gonna struggle. You just have to shop around. You just have to shop around and see which market is gonna provide you movement, because it looks like the market is dry. When the high of the day or low of the day is created, how can I set up a trade? First of all, you need to know your draw on liquidity, right? You need to know your draw on liquidity. You need to understand it, so that when it forms the high or low, then you can key off from the fact that price is drawing to something. Then you can trade in that direction. Okay, so if you're anticipating price to go up because the draw on liquidity is up, then once the low forms during the kill zone, obviously, then you can look for, maybe on the 5 minutes time frame, you look for a breaking structure, you look for a gap, or you look for an auto block, and then you trade it in the direction of where price is supposed to be drawing to. So again, I'm gonna refer back to the euro yen. So this being the low in my understanding in price, this being the low of the day, right? Then I can go onto the lower time frame, like I said, and then trade auto blocks, fair value gaps, optimal trade entries, all of that in here. But you have to know this first and be confident in that. You have to know that price is drawing to that level and be confident, because if you're not confident, then if this low forms, you're gonna second guess, you're gonna be you will not have confidence in taking trades to attack where you think price is going. So you need to be confident with the draw on liquidity first, then when the low forms, you can trade in that direction. Okay, guys. Is there any other questions you want me to help you guys with? Because if there's no other question, I am going to pack myself and go and do other stuff. I think you can hunt for New York session setups using the levels that I've provided, and then the draw on liquidity. Okay, so draw on liquidity, draw on liquidity, draw on liquidity. This one you're gonna wait. You're gonna this one we did actually look at it on the 1 minute chart, didn't we? There you go. We talked about this being optimal trade entry and price going for that on the 5 minutes chart using the H4 as the framework. That was a nice one. And off we go. It looks like we have equal highs up there as well, so price can reach for that as well. And let me see where I could have got in terms of waiting for confirmation. Right here. So this is me practicing right there. Once that candle closed above it, that's my confirmation. I go long, I use that stop loss, and then I target this high. All right, and then obviously I'm gonna leave some partial for this equal high. And then what I'll do next is try to practice, okay, not take trades, practice going forward every down candle. So every down candle, I'm gonna practice this for continuation like that. Yes. I have I've been since I graduated from, I don't say graduated, since I finished my mentorship with ICT back in 2019, right? Since I finished my mentorship with ICT in 2019, anytime, especially the first year, anytime I traded June, the first 2 weeks was amazing. First 2 weeks is always amazing, and then the last 2 weeks is like, why are you trading? Okay, so the first 2 weeks of June, if you like go through price, you'll see it. The first 2 weeks of June is always going to be amazing. You're gonna get like incredible price movement. Then from there, price moves in this kind of consolidation that makes it so, I don't say hard, but it's like it's a tight range, and initially price starts moving and you think it's going to do something, only for it to reverse and do something else. Okay, so I've learned from experience that the last 2 weeks of June, literally, you need to be careful. You can trade it, but don't go in thinking it's going to be the same price action like every day. Don't do that. You need to be careful, because that 2 weeks is like most traders go on holidays, right? If you're gonna go on holidays, you go in June, last 2 weeks of June, just take it off and go and chill, and then come back after the after that 2 weeks, and then you can start seeing a lot of price movement. So there you go. I've got I've got another entry on that. Now it's not an entry where I'll put it in a real live market. Okay, so it's just practicing. Let's see if it will reject that. But my real trade, if I was to take this as a trade, this candle would be my entry. Okay, or the optimal trade entry. So first one is the optimal trade entry, right, which would be here, and then this one. So if I miss the optimal trade entry, or if I'm looking for confirmation, this would be optimal trade entry optimal trade entry, and then this would be, if I miss this entry, this is my confirmation, and then I hand the buy here, and then going forward, this is all practice. Okay, now with practice, what comes with practice is that you're gonna get good at it. Okay, you're gonna get really good at it, and you're gonna build a lot of experience. So going forward, like maybe in 4 or 5 years time, after doing this over and over again, it'll become like, okay, I know he's gonna do this, right? Because it becomes like a habit. He's gonna do it based on the build-up experience. So in 4 or 5 years time, maybe a year, you never know how much it takes you to be confident, right? Then you can take this as live trades. Okay, so let's see if that will push forward. Any more questions? I'm gonna close this down in the next 5 minutes. So if you have any questions, feel free. Next time, for those of you on YouTube, I'm gonna do a trading psychology, because you guys are not you guys are not in a private group, so you think it's all trading. It's not. Okay, sometimes you need a bit of a psychology as well. So one day I will do a trading psychology for you guys, so that anyone struggling with mindset, you can benefit from that as well. On Friday, just Friday gone, I did a very powerful psychology lesson, right? And most of our members did actually enjoy it. So I'll try and repeat that on YouTube for you guys to watch. All right. Now my trading psychology is a little bit controversial, because it's not talked about much. Okay. The reason why it's not talked about much is because it feels like you are going against the core of what people believe. Okay, that's how deep I go, right? The core of what people believe, and that's where most trading psychology issues, that's where it starts from, right? The very core of the things that you believe, that's where it starts from. So it needs to be addressed. All right, guys. I think you're all good. You don't have any questions, so I'm gonna end the session here. I appreciate all of you. I will see you on Thursday for those on YouTube, and for those of you in our VIP, I will see you at 2 for our New York session. All right. So enjoy the rest of your morning. Go get some sun. Take care.